Welcome to practice. I'm Donna Cavanough. We're going to begin laying down and we're going to use a blanket, a long, narrow fold underneath the hips. And if you don't have a blanket, a rolled up towel will do it, but a little bit more support with the blanket. And we're going to put that under the tailbone, the lower edge of the sacrum. And if you can tuck the ends under, so you've got some extra support right under the femur bones. Really nice supportive feeling for the hip joints. And Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together and knees wide. Bound angle posture. Letting your body really give in to the support. So letting tension out of your neck and shoulders, out of your legs and hips. And if you breathe more deeply now, feeling the movement of your lungs, the movement of your ribs. Tuning in to the suppleness of the rib cage. Beautiful. And then we're going to come into an all fours position. So if you take your blanket out and roll over to your right side and all fours. Arching the spine up and down. Following the flow of your breath and including your neck in that movement. Beautiful. Walk the knees together. Lift your right leg and we're going to take the knee around in a circle. And the other direction. Good. And then lifting up your left leg. Take the knee around in a circle. Keeping the hips level. Feeling the flow of your breath. And the other direction. Beautiful. And then we're going to take forward virasana. So knees out wide and hips back as close to the heels as you can. And take your arms forward where it feels good for your shoulders. I'm resting my left shoulder, so I'll look a bit different to you. We're going to bring the bones of the spine a little further forward. Finding the flow. Nice. We're going to walk the hands back and tuck the toes under and roll back so that you're in a squatting position. Nice work. And I'm going to swing the pelvis. So right knee comes forward a little, left knee comes forward, alternating side to side. And try to press your heels closer and closer to the floor. And then centering, and we're going to roll up. Nice work. Take your right foot and step forward. And then we're going to dip the left knee towards the floor as far as your knees allow. So if you're vulnerable in your knees, maybe you're just dipping to here, or you might be able to dip all the way down to touching the knee to the floor. And then we lift up. And what we're going to try and do is we're going to walk forward and back like this, is keep the feet and the legs parallel to each other. So take a step forward with the left foot now. It's not a big step, so that when you dip down, you can keep your torso upright rather than bending forward. So try to keep the torso upright and then lifting up. Notice how when you lift up, well, this is what happens for me, the back leg wants to turn inward. So we're going to try and keep the legs parallel. So right foot forward, try to keep the legs parallel as you lift up. And one more, you might have run out of room like me. Good, and then we're going to go backwards. So just step your left foot back. Try to keep the torso upright. Try to keep the legs and the feet parallel. Beautiful. Come to the front of the mat now. We're standing into Tadasana. Take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. And then arms forward, Uttanasana. Let's hold the hands on the legs somewhere. So we're just halfway or part of the way in our forward bend. Make a back bend shape. Look up. And start to stretch the back of your leg. Good. And then take the back bend shape a little further forward. Good. And then bend the knees and rolling up. Arms up. Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. Good. Bring your hands in front of your heart. We're going to step the left foot back and we have the left heel on the floor. So the legs are straight. Bring the hands to the heart and bring the torso forward, but stop where you feel the resistance in your legs starts to misshape your spine. So we don't want the skin of the spine to feel taut, and you want to be able to express that back bend movement, the spine arching forward. Good, and then bend your front leg and you'll be able to reach further forward now. So reaching your torso as far forward as you can, and you might be able to reach your hands to the floor, otherwise keep them at your heart. And then we're going to start to straighten the front leg, which will be difficult. So we want to find that resistance. Breathing. Feeling the flow of breath, feeling your back bend shape and the resistance in your leg. Good. Step forward, lift your left leg up in front, balance on your right leg. A little bit wobbly because it's been stretching. Great. Now, I want you to challenge yourself with finding your balance. So you might need your tiptoes on the floor. Maybe you can lift your leg higher. If you can hold your knee, try holding onto your knee or holding onto your foot. So whatever feels like it's going to challenge you. Good. And before you put that foot back down, finding where it's going to go, you put parallel to your other foot and then changing. Oh, good. We're going to take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, and then Uttanasana, just part way, so you can really find your back bend shape. Good. And then letting your legs stretch. Lifting your kneecaps. Reach your head as far forward as feels good for your spine or as far down. But we keep the back bend shape. Good. Strong legs, lift the kneecaps. Lovely. And then rolling up, arms up, and hands in Namaste. And right foot back, right heel to the floor, straight legs. Make your back bend shape, reach the torso forward until you find that moment where the spine will misshape because the legs are so tight. And then bend your front leg. And so find your back bend shape and reach the torso forward as far as your movement takes you. And your hands can stay at your heart or on the floor. And then we start to straighten the front leg. That without changing the feeling in the spine. As if you could enjoy the resistance. It is your friend. Good. Then we're going to lift up, step forward, and be balanced on the left leg. All right. And then testing a little, trying to lift the leg higher, maybe trying to hold onto the knee, maybe the foot. Just testing your balance. And before you put your foot back down, find where it's going to go. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. And Uttanasana. Just part way so you can find your back bend. Good. And then try straightening both of your legs. Nice work. Now we're going to take the spine over to the left side. So you can just walk your hands around to your left leg, but try to keep the right hip back. And really reach, the more you reach with your right arm, the bigger the feeling for the right lower back. Straightening your leg. That's good. And come back to center. Check in. Do you still have your back bend feeling? Good. And then around to the right side. So try not to swing the left hip forward. Take the left hip back and reach with your left arm. Ooh. Nice work. And back to center. Do you still have your back bend shape? Always good to check in. And then rolling up and arms up. Urdhva Hastasana and Tadasana. Nice. Urdhva Hastasana and hands in Namaste. Left foot back, heel to the floor. Okay, find your back bend shape. Hands can be in Namaste here. And torso partway forward until you find that resistance in your right leg. Let's do the same thing. We're going to bend the right leg so you can take the torso further forward. Now this time we're going to turn the torso to the right side. So you can keep your hands in front of your heart, or you can put your left hand on the floor if you reach easily. We're going to put the right hand on the sacrum, or keep your hands together at your heart. So the torso is turning. Right ribs are lifting. Left ribs moving towards the right side. And then we start to straighten that front leg. Ooh. Good. If you're feeling comfortable here, your right shoulder is stacked up over your left shoulder. You can try taking your right arm up. I think my shoulders are going to do that today. Nice. Turn back to the front, and we're going to step the left foot forward, balanced on the right foot, and find your balance. What is it that challenges you? Standing with the tiptoes near the floor might challenge you, maybe lifting, maybe holding the knee, maybe holding the foot. So you're just that little bit wobbly, but you can hold your balance. Good. And before you put the foot down, find where it's going to go. Tadasana, mountain pose. Urdhva Hastasana. Hands in Namaste, right foot steps back. We've got the right heel on the floor. We find our back bend and take the torso forward, finding where you can keep your back bend and then bend your front leg so you can take the torso further forward, keeping your back bend. Good. And then straightening your front leg. You might have your right hand on the floor if you reach there, or keep your hands at the heart. Left hand can go on the sacrum. Good. So we've got strong, straight legs now, lifting the kneecap. And still the feeling of the back bend, but we're going to take the ribs and turn them to the left side. And we're going to lift the left ribs. Taking the the left shoulder back. Some people can take their left arm up. Lucky duck. Nice work. Turn to look back to the front. We're going to lift up and step forward and finding your balance on your left foot and challenging yourself. So that might be your tiptoes, just brushing the floor, or lifting your leg a little higher, binding your knee or binding your foot. Good. And before you put the foot down, finding where it's going to go. Tadasana. Okay, bring the hands in front of the heart. We're going to take Utkatasana, which is powerful pose. Bend the knees. Keep the torso upright. Feet are hip width and parallel, and knees are parallel, so they're looking directly forward. Bring the core of the body in to support the spine. Good. And then we're going to take the right elbow in the direction of the left knee, lifting up. Left elbow towards the right knee and lifting up. So we keep that little bend in the knee. We lift right up to almost the back bend shape. Last cycle. Beautiful. Tadasana. We're going to step the feet apart so you're facing the long edge of your mat now, and your feet are a little wider than your leg is long. Toes turned in. Make your back bend shape. Look up. And then bring that shape forward. Hands can be on the legs for support or on the floor under your shoulders if they reach. Lifting kneecaps, lifting quadriceps, lifting sit bones. And bend one leg a little and straighten the other leg so that we're taking the hips from side to side. And you're feeling the stretch in the straight leg on the inside seam of the straight. So take it nice and slow. Listening to your knees. And also finding the flow of your breath. Nice work. Take the hands further out in front and bring the chest towards the floor. Lifting kneecaps and sit bones. Good. And then we're going to roll up and turn your toes out. And lower your hips towards the floor. Take the knees to their widest setting and lift the pelvic floor. So really lift the belly. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Side to side. So more of a hip movement. Beautiful. And then lifting it up. Nice work. Wiggle or jump your feet in. Tadasana. We're going to turn the right foot out. The left toes is facing forward. And then lift up onto your tiptoes. Try to take the right knee back, but don't swing the left hip forward. So roll the left hip back and try to roll the right hip back. Good. And then we're really going to use the core body and try to lift the foot up from there and without the knee coming forward. That's the hard bit. We're going to try and keep the right knee reaching back and lift up and release. Good. Facing back to the front and step your left foot out a little. Turn the left toes all the way out. Bend the knee a little and try to reach the knee back without rolling the right hip forward. It's where it wants to go. So roll the right hip back, roll the left knee back. Good, and then we're going to lift up onto the tiptoes. And imagine using your core that you can lift the leg up. Whoa. Lift up nice and high. And down. Nice. And now we're going to turn the toes in so you're pigeon-toed. So that'll be a counter stretch. And a forward bend. Do your forward bend here carefully because your knees are in a weird position. But we're going to bring the bones of the spine forward to stretch the hip joint in this internal rotation. Good, and your hands might be on your legs or maybe on the floor. Just make sure your knees are okay. And let your head relax. Letting that space over the sacrum broaden and lengthen. Good, and then bend your knees and inhale and come up. Feels so weird doing pigeon toes. Okay, feet back to hip width and parallel. Nice work. We're going to bend the knees and make circles with the knees around your feet. And as you make those circles, just tuning into that lovely, smooth movement of your femur bone in the hip socket. And then the other direction. Your spine is just following along in a way that it enjoys. Good. And then standing tall in Tadasana. And in Tadasana, we want to know that we've got that smooth and supple movement in the hips because lifting the front of the hips lengthens the lower back. And so we get to be taller in the spine and stronger in the legs. Rolling the upper arms out so the chest is spacious, balancing your head on your spine. And finding each precious, satisfying breath. Nice work. We're going to practice our sitting on the floor without using hands, but of course use your hands and your wisdom. So we squat down and try to keep the heels as close to the floor as you can. And then we're going to swing the hips from side to side like we did before. So one knee comes forward. And you're trying to press one heel down to the floor each time you swing. To the leg that goes back. Maybe that heel can touch the floor or go closer to the floor. Okay, so the feet are a little limber. And then we're going to try and sit from here. But if you're going to fall back, then support yourself so that you don't hit your head. Good. And we'll sit up onto a blanket. Leaning over to your right side. And we're going to reach with the left arm and the left rib rolling back. Good. And then coming up. And reaching over to the left side, right arm by the right ear, and reaching the right side of the body. Nice work. And coming up. Turning to your left now, long spine. And finding your breath, the volume of the breath, as the ribs and diaphragm move. And notice you can keep following the breath as if there were no limit to the movement, to the potential. Good, and then releasing that side and changing the cross of your legs. Turning to the left side. Finding length for your spine. Taking the left ribs back and the right ribs to the left side. And follow the breath. So that we don't follow the mind's perception of limit. We simply follow the breath. Every breath. And then come back to center. Lovely. Take the legs out to wide, to your widest setting, your feet. And we're going to press the back of the legs down. If that hurts your knees, put a little bit of padding underneath, however much padding your knees need to be comfortable. It's really nice in your forward bends, if you can be active in your legs. And pressing down, if you've got a vulnerable knees, can hurt sometimes. But padding allows you to work with active legs, which is ultimately good for your knees. All right, we're going to lift your spine. Hands behind the hips will help you to find your back bend shape again. And we want to approach it in the same way so that we did standing. Bring your spine forward until you start to lose your back bend shapes. When you feel like you can't bring your lower back forward, stop or even go back a little bit until you know you can. Good. That's your starting position. Some people can go further forward. You can have your hands in front if that makes more sense to you. Excuse me, froggy throat. We'll turn around to the left side. Stay forward. Stay as far forward as your body moves. But now take your hands over to the left. And we want to try and do that big stretch with the right arm so that the right lower back lengthens. So reach with your right arm towards your foot. The little toe side of the foot is a good point to aim for. And let the body follow the breath here. Okay, so you might have found just a bit more forward movement as well as your side movement. Let's take the forward movement forward now. So walk the hands back to the center. Can you still tune into your back bend shape? Can you still get a little bit of movement of your lower back reaching forward? Good. Turning around now to the left side. So try to keep your forward movement. And we add in this sideways movement. Good. Try to keep your left sit bone anchored. And then reaching a little bit extra with your left arm towards the little toe side of your foot if you can. Ooh. And here, follow the breath. Feel when the body exhales, how everything moves and there's more space. Mm. Nice work. Keep all of your forward movement and walk your hands back to your center. Good. Keep nice active legs, lifting your kneecaps, Try to bring the bones of your spine forward. Beautiful. And then come up. Such a nice posture. Hard when your knees are vulnerable, I know. I've been there. Laying down now. Feet hip width and parallel so that the spine gets to be really neutral. By that I mean any tightness in the front of your thighs is not impacting your back or tightness in the back of your leg. So your spine just gets to express its natural shape. And you have the flat of the floor encouraging that alignment, back of the head, shoulder blades, and sacrum, which is not a straight line for everybody. And sometimes you need a little bit of head support. Left heel, right knee, hugging your legs in towards your chest. Good. And what we're encouraging with the movement here is the left knee to move away from the left shoulder. We're trying to make a little more space there. But the left foot moving towards the right shoulder, the right knee towards the right shoulder. And if you follow your breath with that movement, you might find that you have more potential than your mind will lead you to believe. Good, and we'll release that side. Back to your neutral position. And then right heel, left knee. And we pick the legs up and we bring them in towards the chest. So you hold in a way that supports your movement. And we're trying to take the right knee away from the right shoulder, but the left heel or foot closer to the left shoulder, the left knee closer to the shoulder. You might be able to hold the front of your left knee with clasped hands. But we relax the shoulders back to the floor. Make sure your head is supported, so don't be reaching your head off the floor and stressing your neck to try and do the leg part. Just legs where it supports you. And then following the breath. And releasing. Inside edges of your feet together, knees together. Your arms might be comfortable straight out from your shoulders or wherever they are comfortable. And we'll lift the feet off the floor. Lift your hips, swing them to the right, and knees go towards the floor on the left, but don't quite touch down. So you're really using your core body to lift your legs back up. Good, and hips swing to the left, and then knees go to the right. They don't quite touch down. Good. And then one more each side. And back to center, hugging your knees in, rocking a little bit from side to side. Ah. If you'd like to stay for Shavasana, take your legs out straight. If you need to finish your practice, rolling over to your right side and coming up to sitting. And namaste to you. Legs out straight. If there's any tension in your lower back, then put a blanket in underneath your thigh. Settle your shoulder blades so you're comfortable in the position of your shoulders, so that you feel like you've got space along the collarbones. Rolling the upper arms out helps with that. Arms out just a little bit from the sides of the body so the armpits feel spacious. Closing your eyes. If you like, you take glasses off if you happen to be wearing them, and just put them on the floor safely beside you. So the body gets its own space. You find the flow of your breath. And as each place in the body is mentioned, bringing your focus there. Beginning with the toes. And now the soles of your feet. The arches of your feet. And your ankles. And your lower leg. Knees. And thighs. Hips. And belly. Buttocks. Sacrum. And lower back. Middle back. Between shoulder blades. Between shoulders. Back of the shoulders. and the rib cage, around the breastbone, between the collarbone, along collarbone, armpit, shoulders, upper arm, elbows and forearm, wrist and palm, thumb, fingers, the back of your neck, base of your skull, scalp, forehead, around your eyebrows, and the skin between the eyebrows. Let it feel broad. Around your eyes and nose and mouth, lip and tongue, and the roof of your mouth, jaw and ears. And holding now your whole body in the focus of your awareness, breath by breath. Take a couple of deep and satisfying breaths now. Feeling yourself to be still, and yet the breath moves. And as you start to move, wiggling your fingers and your toes, moving your hands and feet and arms and legs, follow the breath, the feeling of the satisfying breath in the satisfying movement of your body, rolling to your right side. And when you feel ready, come up and have a seat. Bring your hands over your heart. Noticing the feeling of your practice, how you feel. And take that with you. Namaste.